Welcome to my home kitchen on the Irish West Coast and just a short stroll from Hazel Mountain Chocolate, my very own factory. Food is my love language, my passion, my playground. But here's the twist. I'm not just serving food, I'm trading it for stories. So make yourself at home because here, every bite comes with a story. Welcome to the Christmas edition of the show. I truly love winter season. It feels like we're given permission to slow down, get cozy, and enjoy those special dishes we only get to indulge in once a year. It's what makes this time of the year so magical, and today we're celebrating it with a festive recipe. Today we're going to make one of my favourite things to bake for Christmas. I love all the savoury and sweet dishes during Christmas time, but actually mince pies are the ones that I look forward to the most. So we're going to make them today, and I'll show you step by step how to make mincemeat. And when I say mincemeat, I don't mean meat. It's the fruit and nuts and sugar and apples and oranges, all those beautiful aromatics, all in one and blended together. So it's not meat, don't be afraid, don't go if you're a vegetarian, it's going to be so delicious. And I do recommend making your own because number one, the minute you turn the oven on, the smell of all the spices, the oranges, it's better than a candle and it's going to stay in your house for weeks. And number two, you can actually store it in the fridge for about 2 years. So the longest I had it in my fridge was 2 years and it was perfect. So make it. My favorite mincemeat recipe contain things like raisins, which is quite traditional, but also prunes. I think they add this gorgeous sweetness and smokiness. So it's so easy to make. What you need to do is you need to put everything into a baking tray. So we're going to start with raisins. I have some dates and they're all pre-chopped, and I dusted just a little bit of flour so that they wouldn't stick together. You don't have to do it, you can just chop them and put them in. You just have to make sure you mix them really well. My beloved prunes, they're all chopped as well. Candied orange is a must as well. I'm going to put in toasted almond. Toasted almond is not really traditional, but I think it adds a gorgeous crunch and another flavor of kind of smokiness. We're going to add some cubed unsalted butter and some brown sugar. And now to the main ingredient, apples. We're going to chop some of them, but we're going to grate half of them as well. It adds the perfect texture, so it's a little bit more juicy. Your mincemeat isn't as dry, so we're going to do both. Now on to the beautiful aromatics. This is a mix of cinnamon, cloves, ginger and a little bit of nutmeg. I think nutmeg adds a beautiful flavor. So you add everything in and we just need to mix that roughly. Once we put it in the oven, we will need to mix it a little bit more, but it can just be a rough mix for now. We need juice and zest of lemons and oranges. The juice and zest go into the mix. Mincemeat is going into the oven for 3 hours at 110 Celsius, which is about 230 Fahrenheit. Let's make pastry. The type of pastry we're going to make is a type of short crust pastry. It's got sour cream in it and some almonds, so it's going to be extra crumbly, very biscuity. It's super delicious, super easy. What we're going to need is flour, and cubed unsalted butter, ground almond, And what I like to add is a little baking powder and some caster sugar. That's only about 50 grams of sugar. We don't need a lot of sugar in our pastry because mincemeat is quite sweet. Now we're going to mix that until it resembles breadcrumbs, and then we're going to add our sour cream. Now we need our wet ingredients. We're going to start with eggs, and we just need egg yolks. We're going to add our sour cream to egg yolks and a little tablespoon of oil. We need to mix it really roughly and add to our dry mixture. Pastry is ready. I'm going to cut a little bit off, and that's going to be part of our crumble topping. What I love to do when I'm working with this type of pastry, not to overheat the butter, I love to roll it in little pieces. And we need to roll it to about a half a centimetre thick. Our mince pies are going to bake in a little muffin tin, and what I love to use is a cookie cutter that's slightly bigger than the muffin hole. Once you cut your pastry out, it is actually so easy to put it into your muffin tin. You really just drop it in and you push it in very slightly. Once all the pastry is in, you can use this straight away, but what I really love about this pastry is that you can put it in the fridge for a day, for 2 days, you can freeze it, and it comes out as good as on day one. Three hours later, and mincemeat is ready, smells and looks delicious. It has to cool down before we add alcohol. My preference is to add a little rum and a little brandy. I think the sweetness and the sharpness is just right. Pour the alcohol into your mincemeat and mix. The last step, mixing. I'm actually going to blend it, so I will make a kind of mince out of it. We're going to make the crumble now. That's the piece of dough we set aside at the very beginning. I'm adding ground almond, some brown sugar, toasted almond, and just a dash of cinnamon. I'm going to work all those lovely things into the dough. It'll start falling apart, creating a gorgeous crumble. Our mincemeat is ready, the crumble is ready, the pastry base is ready. Let's go. What we need is about a teaspoon of your mincemeat. And I like to put a teaspoon, not more, because the pastry is going to expand a little bit and it's going to push it out a tiny bit, so I wouldn't overfill these ones. And last but not least, the crumble. I'm going to put a lot of crumble. I think it's a really cherry on top of this type of pie. And when it bakes, it's just so crunchy and crumbly, and the cinnamon in it, it just makes it, really tops up the whole recipe. And let's bake them. Mince pies are ready. They're golden brown. They smell incredible. I just can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to having one of those. But first, we're going to go and share them. guys, your family?
No, we're friends.
Yeah, we met in Aruba. We were on vacation. We actually would go to the beach, and there was these huts on the water. They would be on one, and we would always meet in the second one. So it was like a few days before we actually started talking together. And
I had my Mets hat on.
I had a Mets hat, and we were both Mets fans, baseball fans.
Yeah, so we knew we were from New York, New Jersey area. So as we were together, we just started talking more on the beach and sports and everything, and then Deb and Tony started talking as well. So.
And then we had I guess it was happy hour.
Right.
Happy hour. So that's when we had some drinks together up at the I guess it's the tiki bar.
There.
Tiki bar there. Yeah.
We've gone to Oktoberfest in Germany, Iceland, Austria, Las Vegas, Nevada, and now Ireland. Here we are.
Yes. It's always laughing, always.
We live about an hour apart from each other in New Jersey. So when we got home from our trip, we met for dinner, and just as time went on, we talked about going to more and more places. So we did. Last year we were in Oktoberfest. So
now we're planning our next one.
Yes.
Trying to figure out where we're going next.
That is quite incredible that you met in Aruba, but you're only an hour away as well. So I think that's a good sign that this might last, that friendship.
It's true. Usually you meet people on vacation, you're like, we'll keep in touch. Well, and it never really happens, but here we are.
It's been a great adventure, driving all around the country. Bob and I are learning to drive on the opposite side of the road. So
That's that? But don't look at the left side of the car.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we were driving, in the back.
And tell me, what is it like to make friends, in a later part of your life? Because it's not easy to make friends.
No, not at all.
I think it was easy for us because I think the four of us are very outgoing. We really will talk to anybody. As you can tell, we came into your shop and just started talking about chocolate. So we can talk to anybody, with anybody. So I think the fact that we were the same kind of personalities led us together, so it was very easy.
But that's what I mean, that is quite unique. You get to meet a lot of people, but to meet people who even dress the same.
And this was pure coincidence, twice.
Is it?
Yes. We walked out of the hotel room, we were like, uh-oh.
That is hilarious.
Nobody's gonna see us.
And how do you feel about the friendship, that you get to have that late in life? How do you feel about your friendship? Do you feel like this is amazing? Yeah.
Really special. Yes. Yeah, because it's only been like 2 years that we know each other.
I think that's part of the friendship, is that we all really enjoy going to different restaurants, different food.
Yep.
Tony and I are big into pastries.
Yeah, we like chocolate and things like that, the sweets. Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that you like pastry. Although I feel pressure now. But I wanted to share with you, it's called mince pie. And it's a traditional little pastry you have for Christmas in Ireland. But there is no mince meat, there's no meat in it. It's a sweet treat, and the name comes from the fact that in the past, centuries ago, mince pies would have actually been filled with maybe pork or minced lamb, but people liked adding sugar and sweetness to it. And then slowly, gradually, one person decided, I'm taking the meat out, I'm just doing a sweet little pie. You can share it, you can just take one each.
We don't like sharing desserts.
Brownie, what do you want? Come here. Come.
Oh wow. This is very good.
Oh my God, so good.
I love this.
The crumb on the top is amazing.
What was the one thing that you remember growing up and you were really looking forward to around Christmas?
My mom used to make actually a few different desserts at Christmas time, but rice pudding she makes is kind of unique. It's not like
It's bread pudding.
it's more like a bread type pudding, but it's more like cake when you eat it. So that always reminds me. I'm Spanish, so that was something that she always made that I always look forward to.
I just remember the different pastries in the U.S. we have what are called Linzer tarts, and do you know what Linzer tarts are? They're like two cookies, large cookies with jelly inside. And I always remember around the holidays having Linzer tarts and black and white cookies and that type of thing. Yeah.
I think around the holidays, it's just, honestly, it's being with family and eating and eating and eating and just kind of having a good time.
We have coming up for Thanksgiving, actually, because my daughter's a chef. So we will bake the banana bread So we do that. And then we also do, you know, like stuffing in the turkey. But we do a different recipe where we do your regular stuffing recipe, but we put it in muffin pans. So they're stuffing muffins. And actually, when I put them in the oven, like the day of Thanksgiving, I put the juice from the turkey on top of each one. Wow. So that I'm looking forward to making that like in 2 weeks.
That's great.
We could say this is one of our favorite desserts now for the holidays because this was delicious. It is delicious.
Yeah. What do you find surprising? Maybe things that you didn't think to expect in Ireland?
It's just spectacular. I think I knew it was going to be pretty. I don't think I knew it was going to be as beautiful as it is.
I think the people also, I mean, have been so friendly to us, like everywhere we've gone. So the people, you know, here have just been great and even nicer than even what we anticipated.
So I'm so glad I met you.
Thank you.
And look, I think we're matching. So one of the girls who's worked here for years, it's her birthday today, and I think she will really enjoy a little happy birthday with a little cake, and we have something special for her.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Shona. Happy birthday to you.
That's so nice of you all. Oh my god. Thank you.
I can't go to you.
Very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Oh my god. It's made my day.
Happy birthday.
Oh wow. It's even more special when because I watched it being made. You know? Yeah. I have worked in Hazel Mountain about 5 years now. I started right as we opened up for the first time after COVID. So kind of with the new cafe, a couple of new people, and I was one of them. Being part of something like, you know, creating something really cool and in what can be a pretty disingenuous industry, being part of a place that does it right, it's really cool and important, I think. But also it has to be like, you know, the people that you meet every day, you know, all of just like this with the stories that people share and connections you make, and it's grounding, and you know, there's no nicer way to meet people than over like a taste of chocolate, and everyone's happy in the chocolate factory, so you always catch people's good side, you know.
What does it feel like to know your daughter is turning 23?
Yeah, it makes me feel old. It makes me feel very old, but very proud. It's a great thing to see them blossom and live their own life, and yeah, forge their own path, which is fantastic. That's all you want for them in the world, and yeah, very proud.
I think Shauna is one of a kind.
It's a great example to all of the siblings, yeah.
How are you going to celebrate your birthday?
I have requested a charcuterie board. So I'll be making all of my like salami roses and all my different cheeses and everything. So that is how we'll be celebrating this evening. Maybe a board game. I'll force everyone to sit at the table together for at least an hour and a half. Thank you very much. Cheers.